Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in rockin Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day, and I like to give you some great reasons to go to black-cat-comics.com and pick up something fun to read. This week is packed with stuff that's fun to read. Gotta start with the Marvel guys. Gotta start with this guy. Non-Stop Spider-Man #2. The fast-paced and frenetic second issue of an amazing new title, no pun intended. Everybody loves Spider-Man. You can never have enough Spider-Man titles. It's all right there in the title, Non-Stop Spider-Man. This one is action-packed. Great stories, great art. Still got some copies of #1 if you missed it. Grab the #1, grab this week's #2, and if that's not enough Spider-Man for you, Spider-Man Spider's Shadow brings back the classic What If line from, way back in the day. I've loved me some What If comics. They've done many incarnations over the many decades. This, again, is the latest one. You can read more about it in the newsletter. The pitch is basically, what if Peter Parker became Venom instead of Eddie Brock? Good stuff. Like I say, I love the What If titles. If you don't know much about the What If titles, pick up the first trade paperback that we've got online of the original series. Some of the most fun and interesting comics you're going to find. And more Spidey stuff. This week's Fantastic Four is one of your King in Black issues. A couple more of those to go. Love me this run of Fantastic Four. Love me some Dan Slott. You know I'm a big FF fan. This run has been great from the beginning. If you haven't been following FF, King in Black is your opportunity to jump in. And if you don't take my word for it on this one, you got to get the next issue because that's the wedding of Dr. Doom. King in Black Namor, #3, rounds out your King in Black stuff and might be the last issue of all of that after the main book wrapped up last week. Black Cat, #5. Starts a new story arc, another book that's been good from the beginning. You know we always pitch us some Felicia Hardy around here. Daredevil, #29, from a man Chip Zdarsky. You know I've been talking up Daredevil always and forever, and this latest arc is just on fire. Doesn't need a whole lot of help from me. Daredevil's already on everybody's list, but if you're not reading Daredevil, you're really missing out on one of the best books in comics. Has been one of the best books in comics for years and years and years. Thor, another one of the best books in comics, another book that's on everybody's list, that guy, and Iron Man #8 with that incredibly awesome Alex Ross cover are your Avengers-related books of the week. Both of these runs have been really, really solid, and like I say about a lot of things, if you're not reading Thor right now, you're missing out. If you're not reading Iron Man, you're really missing out. This is probably the best arc of Iron Man. It's been around for a long time. Good old classic Tony Stark adventures. And this one has Hellcat and Moondragon. Guardians of the Galaxy hits the big legacy #175 this week. Love me some Guardians. You love some Guardians. A lot going on in this book lately. A lot of moving and shaking, twisting and turning. If you haven't been reading Guardians lately, you might have missed out a lot of key events. Jump into this big old anniversary issue. And Children of the Atom, along with Wolverine, are your X books of the week. Always encouraging everybody to find an X book like X-Men, X-Force, New Mutants, Marauders, or of course Wolverine. Everybody loves Wolverine. Last but definitely not least is Star Wars Bounty Hunters. Much like X-Men, always encouraging you guys to check out the awesome job Marvel's doing with all of their Star Wars stuff. There's the core Star Wars title, Darth Vader, one of the best books in comics. Dr. Aphra, Star Wars Bounty Hunters, sells out every single issue. Great stories, great art. You don't have to be a big Star Wars fan to enjoy this stuff. You just love science fiction, just love cool stories and great art. That's good stuff. Don't have a lot of DC books to show you for complicated reasons, but this guy is Lock and Key Sandman. You know we love us anything Neil Gaiman around here. I love company mashups, and Lock and Key and Sandman is kind of a no-brainer. You also want to be looking out for the Joker #2 this week, and for Batman the Detective #1, because you love any first issue of the Bat books. Moving on, it's a great week for my friends at Dark Horse Comics. You know I never miss an opportunity to talk up anything Hellboy, anything Mike Mignola. This is Young Hellboy #3. Obviously some adventures from back in the day when he was just a wee lad. Pick up 1 and 2 and catch up to this week's #3. Really, really fun stuff. Mike Mignola is just brilliant at genre fusion, as I like to say. A little bit superhero, a little bit action-adventure, a little bit crime noir, a little bit horror. Hellboy has a little bit of everything in a perfect balance. Love me some Mignola. Black Hammer Visions. Another one of the great books from Dark Horse Comics. There's a whole universe of Black Hammer stuff that you need to know about because Jeff Lemire's awesome. Pick up Black Hammer Volume 1. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you do know what I'm talking about. You're super excited to see this week's Black Hammer Visions. Jenny Zero is your other Dark Horse book of the week. Great week for Dark Horse. I like to show you that they do a whole lot more than just licensed property stuff or some of the things that you're more familiar with. They've got all kinds of cool stuff. Everybody should have a Dark Horse book on their list. And Jules Verne's Lighthouse is one of your first issue, gotta have it, Image books of the week. Always encouraging you guys to grab these Image first issues because they're always awesome and they sell out super fast and go to like 19th printing. Grab that one or Home #1. As I always say, Image does really unique titles that you don't find at the other publishers, so their first issues are always worth checking out. Usagi Yojimbo, one of the all-time great comics of forever, now at IDW. Love me some Usagi, one of the coolest samurai titles you're ever going to find. A little anthropomorphic, a little bit of everything going on in Usagi Yojimbo. Stan Sakai is really one of the great creators of all time, so if you don't know much about Usagi, pick up last week's trade paperback that was new printing of the very beginning of the whole thing, or just jump into the latest issue. Red Sonja, The Superpowers, is my Dynamite book of the week because I love what Dynamite does with Sonja and Vampirella, Deja Thoris, but I also love what they do with all of those classic Golden Age characters in the Project Superpowers world. If you don't know much about those public domain Golden Age characters, pick up this issue and watch them take on Red Sonja because Barbarian action's always awesome. Proctor Valley Road is your Boom Studios book of the week. That's the second issue of a series that totally exploded. Why? Because it's Grant Morrison. Everything from Grant Morrison is awesome. Grab that first issue. Pick up this week's #2. Phantom on the Scan is your Aftershock book, a little like Image. I've been encouraging you guys to check out any new issues from Aftershock, AWA. There's lots of new publishers out, lots of publishers you may not know about who are putting out really, really great stuff. So it's always fun to grab the first issue of a publisher you don't know too much about and take a look at the kind of stuff that they do. And make sure I say this right, Mickey Woodcock is your Titan book of the week. Because we love that sort of historical fiction around here. Fun stuff. And a good week for the all ages guys. My Little Pony. You love some pony. Everybody does. That's your latest issue. But Peanuts, Scotland bound Charlie Brown is your Kaboom book of the week. Haven't seen much in the way of Peanuts comics in a long time. Haven't seen much of Snoopy in the 4-color funny books. But it's always awesome. Kudos to Boom Studios for keeping this going. Love me anything Charlie Brown, especially in new, cool, fun stories. Lots and lots of great stuff to check out. So go to black-cat-comics.com, click on Shop, click on New This Week. Take a look at all of the awesome that's rolling out for this week. That's all we got for you. Want to give you the heads up that in a couple weeks it's going to be time again for Kazi's Classics. Going to be selling some awesome vintage classics the last Friday of the month, just like every month. So be on the lookout for that. That's all I got for you for this week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.